Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we're cooking dinner. It's a chicken dish with some pasta. It is called chicken saltimboca with rocket and bean fettuccine. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but here's what we need. And we're cooking it in 2 steps. We're doing the chicken in the oven and then we're doing the pasta on the stove top. I've got the water with salt ready to go. I'm going to pop that on to boil once I get the chicken in. And we're going to need a couple of things, so come on in and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, so first of all, we're going to need a saucepan of boiling salted water and a fairly large baking dish, which you need to spray, and some baking paper to go on the top. You'll need a few jugs. I've got the rocket soaking in some cold water because I brought it a week ago, and it's one of those that you buy in the packet and you open it and you cross your fingers and hope it's okay. It will be fine. I'm just reviving it. Okay, so 4 chicken breast fillets. They are here. 4 tablespoons of basil pesto. 4 slices of prosciutto, 1 teaspoon of corn flour, 2 teaspoons of cold water. I have to measure that out. 300 mils of thickened cream, of which we need 200 mils in the jug now, 100 mils for the pasta. 100 grams of tasty cheese. I keep this in the freezer, so I've just weighed it out now. 200 grams of Latina fresh egg fettuccine. I could not find any fresh fettuccine at all, not even an Aldi when I went back in there. So I went to Coles first, couldn't find it, went to Aldi. So I've got this tagliatelle, and this is 375 grams. I'm just going to do a bit more, quite a bit. It's 175 grams more. It's not too bad. That one's not fresh. They had no fresh. My other thought was going to be to buy the fresh lasagna sheets and cut it up, but it's a Thursday night and I don't want to be doing that, so I'm not going to do that one. We've also got 1 cup of baby beans. They're not baby beans, but they are beans. 1 lemon, which I've zested and juiced in there. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which we'll get out shortly. Salt and pepper to taste. 100 grams of fresh rocket leaves, which, as I said, are in soaking. And then if you have a look at my windowsill, there's still some there. I'm going to use some of that basil that's still alive. It's going rampant, it's dying, and it's coming back to life. All right, so now that you know what we're doing, let's get going. So first of all, grab your baking dish. There's 2 ways of doing this. Get a plate, put your chicken on and wrap it and do it that way. But at the end of the day, this is probably going to be easier. I'm going to grab a knife. The reason being that we need 4 tablespoons of basil pesto, which my theory is 1 tablespoon per chicken breast fillet. And I don't really want to be mucking around with it. This chicken, thought I got all the liquid out of it, but you know what thought did? Thought proved me wrong. Alright, they should be defrosted. I got them out straight into the fridge yesterday. Oh, look at them. They are beautiful big chicken breast fillets. They're huge, actually. I have this thing where if I ask for large things, I get small, and if I ask for small, I get large. And I didn't ask for any size with this, so he's just given me the nicest ones. This is why you find a local butcher and you stick with them, because they're going to look after you. Believe me, they are. Look at that. 4 beautiful chicken breast fillets. All right, I'm just going to get rid of the rubbish because that's gross. Okay. Now, onto these, 1 tablespoon of basil pesto per chicken breast. Just got to open that. There you go. That was easy enough. Oh, doesn't really want to do its thing, does it now? All right, so I'm going to put 1 per chicken breast. So basically just spread it. Okay, that goes on there like that. Next one. By using the knife, I'm obviously not putting the spoon onto the chicken and then back in again. That's a no-no. That's a good way to get sick. Or worse, food poisoning. There we go. Another one down. And lucky last is coming up. All right, beautiful. Okay, so once you've got your basil pesto on all of them, grab your slices of prosciutto. What we're going to do, we're supposed to wrap them around it. I think what I'll do is I'll just lay it on top. It says to wrap each fillet. I guess that they thought that I was getting baby-sized ones, not Jurassic ones. Could go like that, I suppose. I guess that's just so that it's around the base as well. I don't know, there's 2 ways of doing it. I'm going to do some like that and some like that. But I think the winning way is going to be laying it out like a beach towel. Because I feel like that doesn't really cover it. You're wasting it on the base of it. Anyway, you can interpret that however you feel. Lay it out like a beach towel or wrap it around. All right. Dissolve corn flour and water with the cream. So the corn flour is 1 teaspoon. Hey, look at that. For you that watch, water made it on as an ingredient. The amount of times water does not get a look in for an ingredient in a recipe is amazing. You don't actually realize that you need water in a recipe until you're actually cooking and you go, oh, didn't tell me that I needed to get some water ready. All right, so that's just the corn flour and water. We're going to add the cream, which we want to try and deglaze that with the watery liquid. So we'll just tip that in a little bit. Probably not made much of a difference. The way we can get the rest of that out is to just stand it upside down like that for a little while. All right, give it a good stir. Now we're going to tip it over the top. Pour over the chicken. Yum, look at that. Delicious. All right. And then we're going to sprinkle the cheese over the top. Oh, it looks so good. And it's not even cooked yet, by the way. Don't try and eat it yet, okay? Don't get that excited over it. We'll see, when it's cooked, we'll see which way turns out better, whether the wrapping or the other way. Normally, with anything like that, you do wrap it around. But as I say, it just looks better the other way. Now, put your baking paper over the top and set your timer for 20 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, so while that's away for 20 minutes in the oven, this is where we start to get they're calling it a salad, so it's like a pasta salad. So I've got the water on. We're going to cook the fettuccine, which is not fettuccine, it's tagliatelle, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And the beans in that boiling water once it gets going. So the beans you'll just chuck in the last minute when you think the pasta's ready. In the final minute, you just put the beans in because you don't need the beans super cooked. You want a little bit of a crunch to them. And then we're going to make up a bit of a sauce. We'll drain the rocket and then it will all go in the same bowl together. Okay, so once that comes to the boil, we'll be back. Okay, so when the water's starting to come to the boil, in goes your fresh fettuccine / tagliatelle, depending on what you've got. Now, the fresh one is great because it doesn't take very long to cook. This one shouldn't take too long. If you want to believe your ingredients, oh, there we go. Tip contents into large saucepan, 4 litres, 6 to 8 minutes. Well, that's easy. All right, so while that's bubbling away, we have got 6 minutes left on the chicken. That's perfect timing. We'll go and start on the sauce, hey? Let's go start on some sauce. Now, just remember in the final minute, we want to put the beans in. I just had a senior moment. Okay, so we'll grab a jug because we're actually going to make up a bit of a sauce here. Are we? No, we'll just do it in the bowl. Never mind. I am having more senior moments. Oh yeah, that's right. We've got cream. Okay, grab a fork. Okay, so the bowl that's got the zest in it, we're going to use this, okay? So into here, we want the cream, the lemon zest and juice, olive oil and salt and pepper. Okay. Definitely having a few senior moments right now. In goes that. In goes that. Good thing about these lemons lately is there's been no seeds in them. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, actually. So I chucked mine in the compost bin, and I'd love to see a lemon tree growing out of it one day. That would be pretty funny. I've been using a fair bit of lemons with it being winter, so I don't think it could hurt to have a lemon tree. Don't know how it would grow up here, though. We used to have one where I used to live, and that grew really good. Except for the stinky bugs that got on it. Ugh. Memories. Horrible memories at that. Alrighty, so into this, we now need salt and pepper to taste. That's entirely up to you. Crank in as much as you want. You may not want too much salt because prosciutto has got salt on it, but this is a different part of your recipe though, so doesn't really matter. Chuck your salt in. Why not? Pop those away. It's amazing how much more space I get when I start to put stuff away. And the last ingredient is going to be the 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Yes, that's correct. 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to chuck the beans in now because they were pretty frozen. Like they were literally a block of ice frozen. So they can go in now, because while I don't want them super cooked, I don't want one person to be getting one lot of beans on one serving. Funny, because the one person is me. Just depends on which serving it is. Did I tell everyone this serves 4 to 6? I don't think I did. Serves 4 to 6. Depends on how hungry you are. I mean, with the size of those chicken breast fillets, I'd definitely go for 6 people. But if you're Harry Hungry Horse, go for 4. They're going to be big meals, that's all. Which I just seem to feel like Harry Hungry Horse lately, and I think it's just because it's winter and it's cold, and I should go and sleep. If I went to sleep every time I felt like eating, then I'd never be tired again. All right, that is our dressing. The buzzer's gone. We're going to grab the chicken out and see how it's looking. Bring it over. That looks so good. Look at that. That is cheesy, pesto-y, prosciutto, chickeny, yum. But we're going to stab a chicken breast fillet. I always have my doubts when people say chicken can be cooked in 20 minutes in the oven. It's like, really? Even these big ones? I don't know. Apparently we're going to cut it up anyway. No. I'm not convinced it's done. Not there. Definitely not convinced that it's done. No. Don't need food poisoning. All right, I'm going to chuck them back in for another 10 minutes. It won't hurt. 10 more minutes. I've just popped it back in the oven for 10 minutes, and I've cranked it up to 200 degrees because I really want the chicken cooked. I don't want it just partially cooked. While it was cooked through in some places, when I stabbed it and sort of tried to separate it, I could definitely see it wasn't cooked. I'm going to check on the pasta because the rocket, I've drained it, and we'll see how the pasta's going. Okay, good news. At least one part of it's done. So we've got our pasta with our beans stirred through it. Now we're just going to put the rocket in. So what I'm going to do with the rocket, it's still wet, even though I've drained it. But it's sort of going to wilt itself into it if I just put it in like this. Okay, I just sort of toss it through. It's fine. So if you buy it in the packet, try and obviously buy it as close to the day that you need it. Not a week in advance like I did. Technically, I could have gone in and brought this last night, and it would have been so much easier. I would have just had to wash it, not soak it. But it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of rocket. It's got that like peppery taste, which I don't mind, but it's not the most exciting thing. So I prefer baby spinach over this. So, and a lot of times if it says rocket or spinach, I'll go for spinach over rocket. But anyway, rocket is the fancy pants greenery of today's recipes, I guess you could say. All right, the last step with this is to just put this dressing over the top. So this is our lemon, olive oil, and cream. All right, so as soon as the chicken's ready, we're going to be ready to dish up. So I'll see you in a few moments. Okay, after 10 minutes, it's smelling even better. All right, I reckon that smells so good now. I reckon we're done. But because some of them are going in the freezer, what I can do, it's probably better not to overcook them. So I'm going to dish up. I'll do a little bit of a thing at the end. You may have noticed the last few episodes, there's a few pictures of it's all dished up. These are photos that I'm using. I've got to try and decide which ones I'm going to put on my MasterChef application because time is ticking away to get my entry in to apply for MasterChef. So I've got 2 weeks, or 1 week Sunday actually, and with everything going on at the moment, I'm trying to push through it very quickly, but very slowly as well. So I'm not hesitating, but I just don't know how I'm going to do it if I get on. Anyway, thank you for watching Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been chicken saltimboca with rocket and bean fettuccine. Don't forget, put your baby basil leaves on top, dish it up and enjoy. And I'll catch you on the next adventure. Don't forget, hit subscribe and you'll never miss an episode.